they neck. Pull no coffin out of your mouth. I'm way too paranoid for a threat. Hey, let's get it, bro. DOT, the money, power, respect. The last one is better. Say this a lot of goofies with a check. I mean, I hope them sentiments symbolic. My temperament bipolar, two bottles. Hey, let's get it up. It's time for him to prove that he's a problem. Niggas clicking up, but they not feeling kick no 40 water. Tell him, yeah, get up with me. Fuck sneak this, first person shooter. I hope they
Of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to Crime Tube with Mish. So in today's episode, we are on the Leicester Street Massacre. That is the name of the series that we are working on right now. In the first, we went over just the general information about the case. We went over a video done by another content creator. Shout out to them. And he put in detail depictions from the beginning of the case up until the end of the trial, asking the question, was he framed or was he rightfully adjudicated? And for me, I felt he was rightfully adjudicated. Now, in today's episode, what we're going to do is we're just going to look over on TikTok. There were other details that I found out. I also found out there is a documentary at this time, which I thought was very interesting in my mind, how I got here as far as being interested in this case. I did see it on First 48. Not only that, just, the fact that it came up in my mind to do this at the same time that they are planning the documentary that will come out this year. Also, Jesse Dotson, the man convicted in this case, did appealed his case several years after it initially happened. I think it's been about 16 years at this point. Let's see, 16, 18. Actually, it's been closer to 18. Or we're going into the 18th year, but he appealed it, saying that he was wrongfully convicted, that the eyewitness testimony should not have been used because the individual that said he did it was on a lot of medicine and was very young. So we're going to look at the information I found out about it. We're going to look at a few TikToks from the young lady who was actually doing the documentary. And then we're going to look at the first part of another video. The reason I want us to look at that one is because there were images that were made available in her video that we did not see before. Not to mention there were some details that was actually brought out in that particular video. I'm using things that kind of have already been put together because of how long this case, how long it's been since this case happened. So let's jump right on over to TikTok and let's get this show on the road.
And we can all.
Okay, so let's go ahead. I always try to be right before we jump over just to make sure that we can see everything appropriately. And today will be no different. I want to make sure everything looks good. I mean, and I don't know why for me, even doing these things are personal for a lot of reasons. You see especially when you see them on First 48, you see them on First 48, and then I don't know, I got personal. It just felt personal for me. I don't know why. But anyway, let's jump into the first one and we'll go from there.
I'll imagine why he was hyperventilating. He had watched somebody and we can all imagine why he was hyperventilating.
This is a young lady who does a pretty good depiction of what happens in these cases. But usually she just has one video. This particular one, she had more than one. So we're going to try to make sure to do this in order.
Some of these motherfucking family members, bitch, you don't need no motherfucking enemies. Have y'all ever heard of Jesse Dotson from Memphis, Tennessee? If you have or have not heard of this cold-hearted, evil, down bad ass motherfucker, you got to know. We about to talk about it. Now, in 1994...
Also, I just want to say that there is a lot of cussing, as you can hear. And I do apologize. I'm a cusser as well. I apologize for that as well. But just warning you.
Jesse went to jail for armed robbery for $20 fucking dollars. But he unalived the motherfucking man. $20, sir? Already, child. Somebody got to help it. He took a plea deal for 14 years. Got out of jail in 2007. And he went to live with his sister, baby. His daddy got him a little job, helping him out with that. Every morning, his daddy would go pick him up from his sister's house to go to work. Now, his sister did say, even though he was at home and getting help from his motherfucking family, Jesse still had some ill will towards his motherfucking family because he was like, y'all wasn't there for me when I was in jail. Excuse me, sir. Who the fuck helped you get in jail behind $20 motherfucking dollars? I don't think it was none of your motherfucking family members, bitch. Now, on March the 2nd, 2008, Jesse daddy, Cecil Sr., went to go and pick him up from his sister's house per usual, but Jesse wasn't there. So the daddy was like, you know, where your brother at? And her sister was like, well, shit, I don't know. So Pops was like, well, shit, he need to call me and let me know what's up for he not have no motherfucking job. So Jesse called his motherfucking daddy and was like, look, Dad, my bad. My old lady had took my phone. She hid my phone after we had an argument last night. Now pay attention to me, y'all. Now the same day, Jesse's brother, baby mama, was trying to get in contact with him to talk to her motherfucking baby. But he wasn't answering the phone. So baby mama let that shit go on for about 24 hours. And then some of these motherfucking family members, bitch, you don't need no motherfucking enemies. Have y'all ever heard of Jesse Dotson from Memphis, Tennessee? If you have or have not heard of this cold heart, and we can all imagine why he was hyperventilating. Next day, she got up and said, I'm about to go over here. She went over there. She knocked on her motherfucking door. It wasn't no motherfucking answer. Baby, she wasn't playing no games. She called a motherfucking police, bitch. We walking right into a motherfucking trigger warning. So the police get there and they had to bust up in the motherfucking house or whatever. As soon as they get in the motherfucking house, they see somebody laying on the ground, right? Well, they see somebody's foot laying next to the couch. In the living room, they find Cecil Jr. and his old lady, Marissa, another young man by the name of Hollis, and his old lady named Shindry. If I'm fucking these names up, y'all, please forgive me. All four was adults, and all four of them have been unalived. As they making their way throughout the house, they find two children who was unalived, 2 and 4 years old. Now, there were 3 children who was just barely alive and hanging on. All the children had been beat and poked up. One of the children still had a weapon sticking out of his head. So all of the surviving children, of course, went to the hospital to get medical attention. And the investigation began. Now, police was like, this got to be at least 2 to 3 people who did this fuck ass shit to these people. They had 2 different shell casings. So they like, yeah. And when they got to the house, they had a 12 gauge pum laying next to the motherfucking couch. As police investigating, they say this might be tied into some gang violence. So they put all the remaining family members into protective custody. But bitch, tell me the fuck why when one of the fucking surviving children woke up from a surgery and the police asked him, do you remember anything that happened that night? That baby said yes. 9-year-old Cecil Jr., also known as CJ, goes on to tell what he remembered. He say somebody knocked at the door. Once somebody came inside, they started arguing and fighting in the living room. After he said that much, this poor baby started hyperventilating. Next day, she got up and said, I'm about to go. And we can all imagine why he was hyperventilating. He had watched somebody unalive his daddy and a whole bunch of fucking friends and family members, even children. He goes on to say, the person that did this is my Uncle Junior. I'm sorry, I forgot to let y'all know. Jesse Dotson is also known as Junior. But hold the fuck up, bitch. Tell me the fuck why Jesse is in protective custody with the rest of the motherfucking family. Fix it, Jesus. If you're still watching the video, put fix it in the comment section. So the police go pick Jesse ass up and take him to the motherfucking police station to be questioned, right? He got up in that motherfucking police station, bitch, and he confessed. Him and his brother had went for a ride somewhere and the argument started. The argument continued up until they got back to his brother Cecil's house. Once they was in that motherfucking house, he say Cecil pulled out his 12 gauge or whatever. But when Cecil put that bitch down, he say he started shooting everybody. When the police asked him what about the children, he pretty much said he didn't want no motherfucking witnesses. And he asked for his motherfucking mama. And he pretty much told his mama the same exact thing. Except mama had to pause and say, what about the children? And when he said he had to take them out, she said, you did that? I know that's right, mama. I just don't understand how in the fuck she said that so motherfucking calmly. Shit. That woman lost.
I don't either. I ain't gonna lie, I don't either. Also, they never mentioned which child belonged to the woman who called the police.
Her children, 2 sons, 1 to jail and 1 in the grave, and grandchildren.
And grandkids. Also, if you look at this picture, let me make sure you can see it. This picture right here is Jesse. Jesse is on the right hand side toward the center of the video. Next to Jesse is Joshua. Joshua is toward the outside. This is his nephew who just received 102 years in prison for doing the same offense. This happened, his case was 2020, so it was about 16 years apart. That's where I got the 16 years from.
Children. And I be trying to tell y'all, the apple don't normally fall too far from the tree, because look at the motherfucking nephew sitting in jail 102 years for unaliving 3 motherfucking people. Fix it, Jesus. I absolutely cannot imagine what these families and the people in the community had to go through with living through this shit. This is also on the first 48. I cannot remember what episode. Google it. Look it the fuck up. We know this is an old case, but we still gonna do it, bitch. And we can all...
Okay, so this is Jesse. His nephew is Joshua. The thing about this case, Jesse felt a type of way about his brother Cecil because he felt Cecil snitched on him, and that's why he had to do the first bid in jail. Now, the sad part about this is the mother to both of these children, the father to both of these children. They had the same mother, same father, and apparently they sisters shared the same mom and daddy. I know it tore them apart. Let's move over to the other video that I wanted to share with you guys. Each piece
and
of
we
the
can all...
video did have something, like I said, that I wanted to share with you all as we do this deep dive into this case. Each of them, like I said, had something that I felt that you guys should see.
So you have hope that you'll get out someday?
I know I will.
The reason that he was targeted as a suspect is because law enforcement officials with the Memphis Police Department violated protocols with respect to how to question child witnesses, as well as how to question Mr. Dotson.
He's filed a 249-page petition claiming he falsely confessed to the murders because of threats. The petition claims Dotson's innocence, and there was no DNA evidence connecting him. It also...
Now, imagine 4 people pew-pewed, 3 people poked, and there was no DNA. Isn't that something? Now, one of the things that we find out as I looked through this case is, number one, he did police all his shells. And I also believe that he either put something over his hands or he did have gloves.
Says the 11-year-old survivor in the massacre, identified as his nephew, was on a mixture of mind-altering medications and his memory was not reliable.
These are the details as to why he petitioned to have his conviction overturned and said that he did not do it, that his initial confession was under duress, although he did tell his mama as well.
Attorney told me what happened at this house 16 years ago was a gang hit, and she says she has the evidence to prove that Dotson did not commit these murders.
And further, the jury having imposed a sentence of death upon you, it's the order of this court that you be taken by the sheriff and remanded to jail, and at the earliest convenience that you be delivered to the warden of the state penitentiary, therein to be confined until March the 2nd of 2012. And on that day that you receive a lethal injection of drugs based upon the laws of the state of Tennessee, sufficient to cause your death. May God have mercy on your soul, sir.
Did y'all see how he just did? Like he just told him his coffee was ready.
The judge read the sentence of 6 death penalties. What went through your head then?
It's not over. You know, that's okay. It's 6 death penalties, 120 years. It's not over.
The lethal injection date has been set for March 2nd, 2012. That'll be the 4-year anniversary of the murders.
That's just a date.
Surviving child victims may eventually remember that day differently.
I'm glad they're here. You never know. They might be the ones that free me. But I don't feel like I'm going to die right here. I got God in my home.
Do you believe in heaven and hell?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Where do you think you'll go?
Heaven. Don't you think you're going to heaven?
Did you kill your brother?
No, ma'am.
Did you kill any of the people in that house?
No, ma'am.
These are the images.
So you have hope that you'll get out someday?
I know I will.
The reason that he was targeted as a suspect is because law enforcement officials with the Memphis Police Department violated protocols with respect to how to question child witnesses as well as how to question Mr. Dotson.
Okay. There is another video. Now this is CJ. This is the Cecil's son that was also we're going to do this video first, but he was also affected in this.
Hold on, let me get a close up like you looking up at the
Tell you one of the things that has really like touched me and just brought this to the forefront is the fact that we see these stories online, TV, wherever, and to us it's 60 minutes and then we move to the next TV show. But this young man right here has been stuck since 2008 in a cycle of a nightmare from this day. Like, and he is still there. He has struggled throughout his life. He's a father. He has one child I know of. He has struggled throughout his life. And while this young lady is working on the documentary, she's kind of adopted him, for lack of a better word, because of the struggles he's had. He said that, you know, the legal system, nobody did anything for them. So him, his siblings who survived this, the inside of this, they're just here, almost like in a what are those things where you go and they lock you in and you got to get out? That's kind of how his life is. So, you know, you struggle. He's probably got all kinds of PTSD and things. He probably doesn't get any kind of help or disability counseling, anything. Who knows? But with him, I mean, the damage was physically debilitating as well as the mental of it because he watched it all.
Hold on, let me get a close up like you looking up at the
Okay, let's go to the next one.
And we can all imagine why he was hyperventilating. He had watched somebody unalive his daddy.
I'm sorry, guys.
I'm
me turn the audio down. Now, do you see how the effects? You see where the staples are. You see how he has no hair toward the front of. Now I don't know exactly when this is. Now he was between 6 and 9 when it happened, so this is recent. This is not all the way back when. So this didn't just stop on that day, or he didn't go to the hospital for a short period of time and then he was okay. Like, this is something that he consistently has to deal with, and people don't think about that when it comes to stories like this. So I'm going to try to make this image bigger just so you can really see it. Okay. Now there won't be any audio with this because the song playing with this was copywritten. Let me see if I can get the very top part of this. Times every since the day on Leicester Street when my family was unalived and taken away from their kids' lives, hit it really hits hard. You all think you understand a person's pain and struggles, but nobody understands my struggle or pain. I've been through back to back surgeries in the last 3 to 4 years. People think they're helping me or my siblings when actually the government and the city hadn't done anything for us. Since everybody knows so much, I'm tired of getting on here, having to ask for help for people when people don't do anything but judge. They say uh never judge a book by its cover, and that's what everyone seems to do, judge folks like I am, the Leicester Street survivor, and asking for any support. He says money, clothes, food, anything will help, but I'm tired of being judged and called a scam. The story right here is my story, and I haven't posted about it in the past while. I thank those who understand and actually support us in every way possible. I wouldn't have a I wouldn't have a clue on what it would take to even begin to try and deal with this. Cause like, I mean, he's gotta look in the mirror and he's gotta close his eyes and go to sleep every night. And I'm sure the images haunt him. His mother and father both were unalived in this, and he actually saw both. He actually saw his father beg for his life. He actually saw his mother be lied to, thinking that she would be spared by the uncle. He stood there and he looked at his uncle in the face and he um, told him he loved him right before he was victimized the very first time. And I want to find the image of him, of his head. Um, and I think of it quite often because it's like, it's really crazy. If I can find it. Okay, let me put in his name because I mean it gives you just a true a truism of what that little boy went through. Now this is another picture of him, and you know his deficiencies were very obvious when you look at the shape of his head. You can see that here. You see the impression right there, like, and oh gosh, hold on a second, y'all. I'm sorry. Another thing that you're unaware of is, was there any mental issues to deal with? And when I say that, I mean not because there was already something wrong with him, but just because of the brain mass and damage that he went through was that he had to deal with. So that on top of everything else, like you never know until you know what people go through. Now let me find the initial image that I wanted to show you all, and if I wasn't looking for it, it'd be everywhere. But now that I'm looking for it, and I actually thought I had it saved, and I probably do, but I don't want to waste time, and I want to move fluidly through what we're talking about. So I'm trying to move as fast as possible. Uh, Give me one brief moment so that I can pull it up because I really feel that you guys need to see that image to really understand the full scope of CJ and what he had to go through. Um, Obviously, in a situation like this, you're not going to have a lot um, left to help the victims, but um, it's like something or someone or somewhere there should be a fund that will help beyond just the what comes from maybe a social security, because that is a true thing that a person that has disabilities would get, but baby, that probably doesn't even hold a candle to what would be needed, even just for the therapy for this guy. Hold on, guys. I mean, just look at this picture. This is this is CJ's X-ray after the incident that occurred. Like, can you just imagine, honey? Now, like I said, they are working on a story about this. Um, um, a podcast, not podcast, a documentary. So that is something that is to come. Let me make sure. I want to make sure y'all see the images the best that y'all can. So as I adjust from one to the next, I'll make sure that they look good prior to showing them to you. There's about two or three other videos that we'll check out in this episode of our coverage of this. And then um, there's a few other things I want to show y'all. I just cannot, in my mind, and obviously, we're not supposed to understand everybody or why everything happens, but for the life of me, this man, I don't get it. I don't. I don't get it. This is Cecil, CJ's dad. He was one of the victims. That's his girlfriend and CJ's mom. This is Cecil's friend. They just happened to come over and watch the University of Memphis game as with his girlfriend, which is this young lady here. This is one of the kids that did not make it, Samario. No, I'm sorry. This is, I don't know his name. He actually may be the baby because he's the only one that has a different name. Uh, sh- let's see, 2 year old Cecil the second. This may be the baby that the lady was looking for, and that's the young man that CJ. I mean, I just couldn't imagine what these kids went through. But let's go ahead and check out the other videos. We saw those two already. I know he feels that he's captured in time, and I mean, it makes sense.
Told her where the phone, what the keys was. Then he asked her some other shit. But I couldn't really catch on because I was dozing off at the time. So I was losing blood trying to hold that shit in. And I'm fine, I'm trying to hear everything. So boom, after he said what he said, he shot her in the back of the head. When I saw him, he was like, you want to kill her. He told her where the phone, what the keys was, and he asked her some other shit. But I couldn't really catch on because I was dozing off at the time, so I was losing.
Another thing about these type of stories is the people who survive, they have to keep reliving it, especially if there's interviews, podcasts, different things that want to cover what happened. I mean, it's just, it's a part of what happens in these situations, but at the same time, it's kind of what one of the things that he's left with. Now, this is a video. I'm not sure why there's no audio here, but the young lady who was writing the documentary. Oh,
I couldn't even sit down and rest from a long day. He got me driving all over the world.
whenever she comes to town and she's doing shooting, working on the documentary, she always comes and checks on him. Tries to do whatever she can for him because he's not in a stable situation. The unfortunate part is where's the rest of his family, but you don't know. They still have to live their lives. So that's one of the things, one of the results from bad situations that happen to kids like this. Not even just kids, but people in general who go through these type of things. It's really sad. I'm just making sure that the videos I'm showing you are the ones that I had saved. Uh, we've already looked at that one. We saw that one.
My mama brother never liked my dad. If for some reason, for what reason, I don't know. And he told my mama that she was gonna end up dead if she kept messing around with my dad. My mama brother never liked my dad. If for some reason, for what reason, I don't know. And he told my mama that she was gonna end up dead if she kept messing around with my dad. My mama.
Another thing about this is because Cecil, the brother that was unalive, the father of the kids, because Jesse felt that he set him up, it came out in the midst of all of this that he had been talking to people about the fact that he had planned to do something to him anyway. Now, I don't know about the whole family, but he always felt his family wasn't supportive of him when he went in the first time. So that's one thing. And then he felt his brother was the cause of him going in. So that just kind of led to, I guess, the ambition of this. He planned this out. He was there with the bodies, with the families for a while. It was also said that he violated one of the women. He also set up things to make it look like it was a drug deal gone bad. So, Monster in My Family, the Lester Street M. This is the documentary that she's working on. She writes is her name here on TikTok. She's the one that's doing the documentary. She's also got my girl up in here that I
Yeah,
love
Kia
very much.
KFC.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull her up.
To March the 3rd of 2008.
I love her.
I was currently Sergeant Caroline Mason at the Homicide Office, and I had been a sergeant in homicide for approximately 5 years. So we got this call from then Lieutenant Tony Armstrong was a lieutenant then, and we got the call. It was late at night, raining really, really hard, and we had had a long day working some other cases, and I got there to March the 3rd of 2008. I was currently Sergeant Caroline Mason at the Homicide Office.
I think she's actually married now, but I also think that she no longer works with them. Let's see, do I have any more saved that I wanted to show you guys prior to our next um episode? So no, everything that I had here saved for us, we have looked at, but we pretty much have went over more details. The next episode, we'll go over a story that has even more details as far as just laying things out. And then we're going to get into another dimension of this family. The more I do research, the more things that seem to keep coming out about this family.
Niggas talking out of they neck, pull no coffin out of your mouth. I'm way too paranoid for a threat. Hey, let's get it, bro. DOT, the money, power, respect. The last one is better.
Sorry about that. We're going to look at another member of this family and try to get a little bit of information about where his life went, as this story seems to continue after 2008. But anyway, guys, I hope that you were able to get good information from this episode. I hope the information I'm presenting is good. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. If there's anything else that I can try to get here, there is not a release date for the documentary. I know I can't wait for it just to get more information. He's a legend now that he didn't do it, so we'll never know the real why, but you know, you can pretty much tell, especially professionals who work in this line of work. They're pretty good at knowing criminals. So everything that has been said about him is probably textbook. He felt his brother was responsible, and most of these type of guys are they lack sympathy and they're narcissistic. So that's probably uh the coup de grace of things. Anyway, thank you guys for taking the time to check out my episode 2. Please follow my channel. Please share the episode. And if you have other stories that you would like us to look at that are true crime in nature, do not hesitate to share them with, and we will look into them for future series. Thank you so very much, and I will see you in the next video, guys.
7 of the Copyright Act 1976.